All right.
How are you doing?
I do good.
Whoa, he's boyish again.
Are you Miles?
That I am.
Miles, I'm Sly.
Hey, nice
Welcome to
to
the Beardbrand Barbershop.
Yeah. Thanks.
What brings you to the barbershop today?
I'm ready to change my hair.
Like chop it off?
Maybe. Yeah. It's kind of up to y'all, but yeah, I mean, I was traveling for a while, I was doing different things. I just moved here in January, just settling into a more stable life, and I want to get myself together a little bit.
Amazing.
That's my girlfriend Bailey, beautiful girlfriend Bailey.
How long has he been rocking this look? And if you were being honest, what's your real opinion about
If
it?
I was being honest, I feel like he's had this maybe a year and a half. I don't have a problem with it. I like the long hair. I think he could maybe wash it a little more often, but the look isn't bad.
Is there anything we should stay away from when we cut Miles' hair?
I'm gonna give you free reign. He's never not had a mustache. I would be interested to see what he looks like without a mustache.
Really?
You're dooming my mustache right now, Bailey.
No, I like the mustache. I've just never seen him without it.
Yeah.
We're here in Austin, Texas at the Beardbrand Barbershop. I'm Sly and this is Robin. And we've got another epic transformation on deck. Miles is here and he's ready for a change. Miles has been growing out his hair for, I would say he's rocked this particular hairstyle for a couple of years now. And he said, you know what, I'm ready for something completely different. Option number 1, high and tight. Something that really kind of like frames the shape of his face, nice and tight. It's summertime. But I'm thinking maybe something between this and something like this. Josh Brolin really rocked this hairstyle really nicely. It's a little overgrown for my taste.
This might be a little too short on the side, I feel like, with his hair texture. Something in between that one and the first picture would be cool.
Option number 2, we give him a long shag. Something has some bangs. He's already got the length of hair for something similar to this to grow out fully into this look. We could give him the Dana Carvey in Wayne's World.
Yeah, that's cool.
I don't know if he likes to play drums though.
Doesn't matter to us. I don't care what he does outside of this barbershop.
Option number 3, a slick back with a disconnect. Now I like this particular look because it's really modern, it's really contemporary, it's not a skin fade, it's nice and long on top, still long on the sides, long enough to like maybe feather back a bit. We could also give him a shorter variation of that where it's skin fade, slick back.
I'm not generally a fan of like those heavily disconnected haircuts just because the way it grows back. Like if I have clients that have this haircut for a long time, I'm happy to do it, but for an experiment like this, if I give him that and he doesn't like it and he wants to grow that back out into something that's going to be a pain in the ass.
Well, long shag it is.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's go.
I'm just wetting his hair just because I don't want to spray him down with my water bottle for a half hour before. Like with longer hair, if it's going to be, even if it's not like a major transformation, I like to just wet it here just because it's a lot quicker. And in the barbershop, we're usually on a pretty tight schedule. So it's just a nice way to get his hair wet, quick. That's all it is. There's really nothing more to it than that. It feels pretty clean. I feel like it's been washed pretty recently, like, so I don't really need to shampoo it. Just want it wet.
You know, I mostly don't even know what I want when I go to a barbershop a lot of the time, you know. I have a loose sense of like, oh, I want it shorter. I maybe have a sense of what I don't want, but it's always a little bit just you get what you get, you know. So in Philly, I used to go to a place that was like kind of an old like gay barbershop because I figured, you know, those guys know what they're doing. It was also regarded as a pretty good one.
Robin worked at actually.
You worked in one in Philly?
I worked in Philly, yeah. Not in a gay barbershop.
It wasn't a gay barbershop per se as much as it was a barbershop in the historical gay neighborhood. So it was like a place where you would go if you were gay.
What neighborhood is that?
I think it's just called the Gayborhood. There's not really a different name. It's like 3 blocks on like downtown in Philly. I was looking for barbershops. I mean, that part's not that surprising, I guess. And I was looking around online, and a lot of times when I'm looking at barbershops, I'm looking for something that's like a medium between like just a utilitarian barbershop where it's, you know, kind of just chop it all off for guys who just need to have a short haircut or whatever. and like a hair salon, which I don't usually want to pay for, and also it's kind of, you know, I guess woman coded, you know, so I'm kind of looking for something in between that. And I came across this place, which seemed like good, had good reviews, you know. I looked online, showed up on some lists, and some people mentioned it on like Reddit, you know. So then I went on the website and I saw you guys were advertising this. So I thought, what the hell, you know? The description was somebody who wants to change their look pretty dramatically, and I was willing to do that. I thought that I kind of fit the bill. You know, I definitely get that urge to just totally change up my look every now and then. You know, every couple years I usually cut off all my hair, make some big change. So yeah, and I applied. I didn't really think y'all were gonna pick me for it because I don't have like a crazy bad hair, you know, like, or big long beard or anything, but I'm happy you did, so yeah.
Well, it's so long that it's you can't really tell anything about his hair anymore, actually. If you trim off like an inch of this, you won't really tell. You can't really tell if it's grown out that long. Even if she took a chunk out of it, I mean, that's hidden in there somewhere. I might come across it, but so far so good. I'm just creating the foundation, kind of separation between the hair I want to keep long and the hair that is going to go short. And this is a good way to feel out the shape of his head a little bit and just see the dandruff seems way worse on this side of his head than on the other side of the head. So it's a good idea to keep the hair a little bit longer.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. It is much worse on the top left there, and it only started being that bad like a week or two ago, really not long ago. So I don't know what's up with that, but
Maybe it needs some air.
yeah, it could be. I've been going to the pool a lot recently, which I think might be part of it, like chlorine. I think might be irritating it a bit, making it worse, but it's a lifelong struggle with the dandruff. It's always been a problem. It was a problem for my dad too. It's just like, I think we just maybe have sensitive skin, you know.
Yeah, I'm just taking like the bulk of the length off for now. Already kind of cutting it a little choppy so that we have some texture in there. But for now it's still mostly just removing hair that I know we're not going to need for the style we're going for, so it can be done pretty quick. I think it is what I suspected it to be. It is definitely a good choice. The haircut we're going with versus the options we've seen, I think we made the right choice. It's just going to be tailored to his head, of course, but it's, yeah, I think this will be good.
Nice, not too lumpy. For work, I have two different jobs, two different gigs. I work as a barback at a local bar here on Manor, and I also am a freelance journalist. I do writing on like planning and development and transportation for the Austin Monitor, local kind of online government newspaper here. I like to ride my bike. I like to work on bikes. I volunteer at Yellow Bike here, and I work on like refurbishing bikes for people in need and stuff. I work on my own bikes. I like to take photos. I'm into film photography and some of that. Not been doing as much of it recently. I like to read. I like to swim. Yeah, the swimming is huge. I love Austin for swimming. I think coming from Pennsylvania, it's incredible how different that is here. You know, for swimming pools, and even in Philadelphia, you know, it's a much bigger city than Austin, much older city, and swimming pools are like pathetic compared to here, just the whole culture. There's nothing like Barton Springs or Deep Eddy or anything like that. The best pool we have in Philly is like, it's just a regular Olympic-sized pool in like a park in the city. It's open for like 2 months out of the year in the summertime. Only like 50 some people or something like that can be there at a time. And you have to go like way out of your way to get there. So yeah, I love Austin for that. The swim culture here is awesome. And being able to do it all the time, like all year into October and in April and January sometimes, it's really cool.
So I haven't gone outdoors yet, but that's my goal for next season. Like when the heat is over in Austin, I definitely want to take it outdoors.
It's really cool. I think I would probably struggle with it at least at first because I'm pretty scared of heights.
Just don't look down.
Yeah. I think I don't trust my balance, you know. I'm a pretty tall and ungainly guy. But it seems like it would be really good exercise. You're like using your fingers and stuff. You're like gripping.
It's a good workout.
Yeah.
Still, I'm just need to get all the length off for now. Just see kind of how the hair wants to lay when it's a little shorter. Because you can see like he has cowlicks in the front of his hairline that we need to be a little bit aware of. Yeah, I'm just kind of figuring it out as I go. Never cut hair before in my life. I'm instead of picking one of the styles, I'm going through all of them. Whenever we're happy, I'm going to stop cutting. I just want to dry because I'm going to do the clipper work now, and I want the hair to be dry first, so that I can see how it lays dry and where I can start blending it in. And I just don't want to clipper off wet hair. It's risky. Not good for the blades of my clippers, and it's just you can take off way too much if it's wet. Yeah, I just like to do it this way because now I know kind of the idea of the shape that we're leaving on top versus if I would have clippered this off first and then started cutting the top, I just use this as a kind of a safer way to do it, because if you clipper the long hair off right away without really seeing the shape of the head and all that, you might go too high, or you might take bits and pieces of that you rather not wanted to have taken off. So I like to cut the top first, so just to give me a clearer overview of what I can safely just clipper off. That's the whole. There's no right or wrong way to do it. I just like to do it this way because now I can see a very clear guideline of where I do not want to clipper higher than that part, and I can just run my clippers up to the line and know that I'm safe. Can it go? And this is just a way quicker way for bulk removal as well. Like I can now basically run my clipper over it so much faster than trying to avoid going too high, because I know exactly how high I can bring the clipper work up. And it's been like I feel like the trend is going towards longer hairstyles more these days. So that's nice to see that that's finally changing a little bit, where it's not doing skin fades all day anymore. We get a lot more variety of haircuts in the barbershop these days. But it is a nice classic hair. It will always work, but again, you have to be the right person for it. I don't think that haircut will ever go away completely. There will always be people that are just perfect for it. It's just high maintenance. Not everybody wants to come into the barbershop that often either. A skin fade I would have set in a line with no guards on, just to bald out the very bottom of this haircut. And here I'm just tapering it into a different length from what it is up here to down here. It is, you could call it a fade, but it's just a longer version of a fade, where we're leaving hair all the way to the bottom instead of skinning it out to a certain amount. I am going to do a skin taper in the very back of the neck, but I don't consider that a skin fade. I just consider that common sense. Good. I like to, just because it looks better, to taper out the neck, no matter how long I'm leaving the sides, but also because he has a lot of swirl growth patterns, cowlicks back here. So this is a nice way to kind of solve that. So it's going to grow back a little bit more natural. Buys him a couple extra weeks before he needs to get another haircut. I just try to see where the actual hair, like where it becomes a little bit more visible, that his hair is thicker versus like the kind of baby hairs on the neck here. I just kind of follow, it's usually pretty visible around the sideburn area, so I like to start there, go around the ear that way, and then just work back into that. And then from here on you can kind of see where his hair really starts versus where it's just wispy baby hair. And that's kind of where you just set in that line. And then I like to put my comb in so that I can really see where the hairline ends and just take everything that comes over, tighten that up a little bit more. But it's usually pretty visible. It might be hard to see on camera sometimes, but if you really look for it, you can really tell where the hair starts versus where it's just neck hairs. It's the same up here. If you comb this forward, just put your comb in, kind of where the hairline sits, take the length off first, and then just create that shape that's naturally there, just enhance it. I don't cut into the haircut, I just enhance the line that's naturally there. And blend that a little bit softer. Yeah, this is just that final, that line that I cut in first, that initial guideline. I like to blend that out with Scissor-over-comb, just so that I don't have to bring my clippers all the way up the side of his head, risking cutting like a chunk out of the haircut that I don't want to cut. Gives me way more control. Takes a little bit longer, but it's I don't know, it's just better looking this way. Otherwise I went through all those hours of schooling, learning this and never using it. Let's put the training to the test, you know? This is, well, basically the blending point between the clipper work and the longer hair. So this, because I'm angling my comb away from the head, it's not compromising the shape of the haircut on top, but it is blending the hair underneath a lot softer into the length up there. You always just keep checking it in the mirror as well if you don't see any more lines and dark spots in there. And then after this I'm going to do all the texturizing on top so that it falls a lot softer into each other even. And also I feel like it's still very, very long, so I'm probably going to take this a little deeper and still take some length out of it as well. You have a pretty, you have a lot of hair, so it can feel very heavy and greasy at times, and your hair is very straight. So doing this takes some weight out of it, and it just gives it a lot more movement, and it doesn't look so heavy and flat on your head as it grows back out. This is just and also a more natural finish to it. Like it's supposed to look like hair, not just like a helmet, you know.
Yeah.
So this, what I'm doing now, it doesn't really take off a lot of length, but it takes out a lot of weight, and it gives it a lot more movement, and just it just looks good for longer this way.
Yeah,
you don't feel like you need to come in for a haircut every, whatever, 2-3 weeks because your hair feels so heavy.
You're basically cutting it like different hairs to slightly different lengths, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that, like, shorter hair carry the longer hair, and that creates texture. Mm-hmm. I can do this all dry because I don't want to cut it like how I would, like when I cut hair wet, I just cut in the foundation. This to me is the actual haircut, what I'm doing right now. This is dry, where I can see right away what it does when I cut it, and the shape that I wanted the haircut to have is there. That's what I did wet. Now I just want to fine tune it visually. Like now I just want it to look good when I cut. Like if I do this wet, then I don't know what his hair looks like tomorrow. That's why every time I take a section and I cut into it, I like to run my fingers through, move it around, and just kind of see where it looks heavy, see where I can take more off, see what just needs to be left alone. If I would do this wet, I would cut like straight sections off, like make everything the same length. Now I just want different lengths in here without compromising the overall length of the haircut too much. And this is like, to me now, if I grab this section, I can see a very short part there, and this all looks way too long. So I want to texturize all that long hair out, and then without taking the actual length off, it looks a lot softer and less heavy and a lot like more manageable. Same here, this front part just feels very heavy right away, so grab that whole thing, see all the length differences in there, and I'm just gonna work on the longest bits where I see the hair be very dark, meaning that there's a lot of hair. Chop into that a little bit more, and that will make this feel just a lot more natural instead of like super straight looking hair. And I also like to go through it diagonally, don't do everything in the same direction. If I want his hair to fall straight forward, it already starts bending off this way. So it's a good idea to just grab that section in that direction and just make that a little lighter too. Because it's probably going to end up being slightly side parted if he wears it. Even without styling it, it's not going to lay super straight. This is definitely long enough to kind of style it in a way, but it's also, if you don't do anything and it looks like that, I mean, that's a pretty good look. Like, that's why I like to make it a little choppy and messy. That's also why texturizing is always a good idea, because that gives it already like a natural styled look almost, even though you didn't do anything to it.
Nice.
You don't know how long this guard is that I'm using right now. Maybe I'm braiding it. It's a braiding machine. Five guard. No, this is a 0.5. No guard. Yeah, like people tend to like a 5 o'clock shadow, they call it. This would be similar to that, without giving too much away. Probably close your eyes, which is sometimes these hairs jump up. Can leave it like that. It's always an option. Yeah.
He said surprise you.
I'm just following the lip line. I don't like making unnatural lines in the hair or the beard, so I just follow this. Make sure that the hairs are off his upper lip, basically. It's a very clear color difference between the lips and the face skin, so it's pretty easy to just follow that natural line there. I have to do very bare minimum to it, honestly.
What you got there?
Desert Road, new limited edition smell. This is completely unnecessary what I'm doing right now. I just want to use it just for my own personal enjoyment. Just pre-shave oil. This is what I like to do this before I put a hot towel on. Softens the skin a little bit, it makes the razors slide a little smoother over the face. And it just smells really good. That's the main reason for me to use it is because it smells delicious. It's amazing.
You like that fragrance?
Yeah?
Yeah.
This smells really good. It's desert what?
Desert Road.
Nice.
It is leather and petrol. Yeah, too hot or feel good?
It is hot. It might be a little too hot.
Better?
Yeah. It's supposed to be pretty hot right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's supposed to burn. All right, we ready?
Yep. Oh, hell yeah. Wow, that's awesome. Wow. Yeah, it looks great.
It's not quite a skin fade, but it is. I use the number 2 guard at the lowest here and blended that up. I only went to skin here in the very bottom so that this looks a lot cleaner on the neck, so you can kind of see your clean hairline around the ear fading into your skin. Again, that will last a little bit, make the haircut last a little bit longer.
Nice. I mean, yeah, it's hard not to hate things the mustache being gone. That's what I'm really surprised by.
It's just very short, and because your hair is blonde, you don't really see it, but there is still stubble. Like that's going to be way more visible in like 2 or 3 days when it grows out a little bit more. But it's just evened out a 5 o'clock shadow-ish basically. And I just heavily texturize the top so that even if you don't do anything, this is basically how it lays. If you run your hands through it a little bit, you can kind of move it around and play with it. It's still long enough for that.
Nice.
And if you really want it to be neat, like you have more than enough to kind of side part it and go back with it as well. And without product, it already does a lot. Like imagine what you can do with product in it. But I like to have the fringe a little bit forward instead of back, exposing your forehead completely. I feel like it's nice if it lays on it a little bit more like that.
Yeah.
So what I would do for this, because it is your hair texture is pretty fine, I wouldn't use too many like heavy hold products just because it's just going to stick your hair together. I would go for like a sea salt spray. It's very light and super easy to apply too. If you just spray this in and kind of run your fingers in it, it will give it a little bit of hold and it just brings out the texture a little bit nicer. Like if you scrunch this in and then let it air dry, you can already kind of see how, do you see all the hair separation in there? As this dries up, it will give your hair that feeling as if you swam in the ocean, you know, like a little bit of a coating on your hair, which gives it a very, very light hold. It's a matte finish, natural look, and I feel like for hair like this, that is a very nice way to style it. It's very easy, and you can, throughout the day, if you wanted to do something different with it, like bring it up a little bit more, just go with your hands and scrunch it and it will stay that way. If you're gonna blow dry it, I would do that with a diffuser on if I was you, because blow drying it just blow dries it very straight. If you have this is typically used for curly hair, but it can also be really nice to bring out texture in straight hair. So you can just very lightly push it on your hair and just make little circles with it. And then just scrunch it up a little bit with your hand. Because if you blow dry your hair with just a direct airstream, it's just going to blow dry it flat on your head. Just gives it a little bit more movement and breathability. And this is what would happen if you would naturally just let it air dry. If you're in a rush and you don't feel like blow drying it, this is basically how it's going to dry up. Like the diffuser achieves that natural air dried look a little bit better. This just speeds that up a little bit.
All right, here we go. You can open your eyes.
Whoa. New mustache.
I know. It's big, right?
Twirl.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, muss it up pretty nicely, you know.
You got a little on top.
Spiky
pretty
hair.
must.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think?
Cute.
What do you think?
He's boyish again.
Yeah.
Very cute.
Yeah. I was saying in there, I feel like it's like looking at myself when I was 19 in the mirror. It's crazy. It's like seeing ghosts, you know.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes me look a lot younger.
You look
right?
really young.
Yeah. I look like I'm like 22.
It's neither. It's gonna take some getting used to.
Yeah.
No mustache.
Yeah. I think I look literally years younger.
You look like a baby.
Did we nail it?
Yeah.
You seem really excited and happy.
I am. He hasn't had short hair in a long time, too.
Yeah.
It's very fun.
Huge change.
I'm gonna muss it a lot, I'm sure, in the coming weeks.
Yeah, I got the peach fuzz too. I feel that's always a good thing about having the shortcut.
Yep.
The peach fuzz.
Yeah, this is not a skin fade by any means.
Thank you.
Clarify.